Okay, so I think the date was April 6th. There was an officer at the door, one we'd already seen before that had been to the house. So he was familiar with us. And you were just going across the street less than 100 feet away to get a phone number of a salon next door because our stylist person is more than 25 minutes away. So when I get tired of, physically tired of doing hair, this person is closer. But you took about 45 minutes, which is strange because it's just across the street in a low traffic area. So tell me what happened.
So I was walking across the street and I was getting a salon person's thing. And then when I was walking back, I went in front of traffic. And then the person called the cops and the fire people. And then they lifted me onto the bench here and asked how much it hurt. And I said it hurt more than it actually did.
It hurt more than an accident?
I said it hurt more than it actually did.
Oh, okay. Okay. And why is that?
For attention.
It's summertime now, so people are out and about, and kids too, but at the time it was a lot less busy. And you also had a pair of glasses that I recovered the lenses on, but you're persistent that they'd gotten run over in this area that's pretty posh, so I think people there's not really any trash out and about. So we came by after having gone to the ER, which the police made us do after they lifted your body into my car because you told them you couldn't walk. And went to the ER, asked a social worker friend which one would be the quickest ER to get into at the time. So drove there. You limped your way in, you couldn't, so I helped you walk in, and then you asked for a wheelchair, they got you that. And then getting onto the bed, you had the wrong leg struggle to get up. Were you kind of stressed out in the environment of being in a ER? It was the quietest ER that I've been in, but why did you forget which leg it was?
Because I didn't forget it. I just it just
weren't thinking about it. And then before you went in for x-rays, they asked you to walk and you were limping. Why is that?
Because it was starting to hurt less, but it felt limp, weird, when I straightened my leg out.
But you weren't actually hit, right? So what do you mean that it was hurting less? You weren't hit by a car.
The car did hit me.
No, the car did not. The car was slowing down or just starting up, but either way, it didn't hit you. You had no injuries from it.
That's because it's going slow.
Mm-hmm. So what happened with your glasses? Did you toss them out?
No.
You told me that you were not hit by the car, you didn't fall, and that someone that saw the car go by you told you to sit down until police came.
No,
So if you did not fall, then were you hit?
My glasses flew off my face.
You did not fall, though?
I did.
they were going under 10 miles an hour and no contact was made. You had no bruises and you scratched your own leg. Because when we saw it, you said, oh, I've scratched myself. And it looked like a scratch, and it was less of a scratch than when our dog scratches us. So fill me in.
Well, that's
No, fill me in. You scratched your own leg and you did not fall. And how did you get hit? Right?
because I was like, I just got hit like up here.
It's a car. So you scratched your own leg. What's that?
Yeah.
You scratched your own leg. And when they found you, you were still walking. You were seen still walking on our block away from our house. So you never made it to the other side?
No, I was coming back.
No, because you were hit on this side, right? And he was coming on this side. I pulled up and his car was over here and they moved it. He was standing over here. And then you were sitting on the floor with snot drooling down and tears in your eyes looking at officers with your mouth open. And they said that you were walking on this side and his car had just slowed down. And the guy said, oh, the sun must have been in my eyes. I don't know. I really looked and I didn't see her. And then the person who called, he called 911 himself because he felt bad. But the family who was walking during the crosswalk time seen you walking later than the crosswalk time. And so she's the one who told you to sit down until the 911 and ambulance came. Yeah. I was here for that, right? You can't lie to me if I was also there. So how did you get hit on your left-hand side when you're walking to a place within 100 yards, 100 feet, basically? The apartment's right there. And the car is right here, meeting you on your left-hand side. That means you're still going. Right? So did you walk several times back and forth? Then what happened?
Maybe I was walking that way.
Which way?
That way. Just walking that way.
Like that way? Yeah, that's her shop. It's right there. That's the direction you're supposed to be walking. And that's the direction they found you in. But you were gone from the house for 45 minutes. Before Damara and I were like, where is she? That's strange. And then there was a knock on the door and I'm like, oh no. And they're like, she's been hit. I'm like, how has she been hit? She just went across the road right by our house. Which 45 minutes doesn't take. 10 minutes at that. So how were you gone for so long?
Well, that was when they were here. They were here, and then I told them your number, and then they couldn't get it through. So I was just waiting there.
Okay, so it was earlier on that you were fake hit? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so you fell, you didn't fall, you fell, you didn't fall. You did scratch yourself. You had told me that you break every pair of glasses 2 times a year. Why wouldn't you just be honest and say that you had done that with these?
I didn't break them.
You already told me you did. This is why I feel I have to record every single thing. Because the stories change depending on the weather. That's why we decided not to buy any more glasses this year, because you told me you would break them too. And I was like, alright, thanks for letting me know. So, okay, you were walking this way, you're saying? Yeah. shopping and you made it look like you were hit, and then you sat down until people came? Okay. Then why do that? There was a girl, what's her first name, who was in your class, who broke her leg like 2 or 3 months beforehand. What's her name though, first name? Liz. And I remember you came home like the day or so after you found out, and you were crying, like very big crying about how this awful thing happened to her. And I'm like, I've never even heard of Liz. You're very emotional right now. She is alive. It sounds like she is doing okay. But you were very over the top emotional about her. And then after you went to school because you were fine to be released for gym and anything else, as nothing was wrong with you, then you were telling kids at school that your leg was broken. So were you hoping to get the same level of attention that Liz was getting?
No, she didn't get that much attention. She only got it from her friends.
She only got the attention from her friends?
Yeah.
Okay. So what were you hoping for then? By telling people that you broke your leg in school and then taking leg stretching breaks in class?
I was wanted attention.
Attention, okay. Now you get a lot of attention at home because my day ends when you get home, right? So we're always together. Whether you're in activities or sports or you're doing volunteering on a board, you're always having someone's attention, right? And as soon as the scans came back in the ER and things were fine on your body, then they asked you to walk again and you immediately walked fine. They laid the bed back for you and you still were sitting up, right? And that's when I started thinking, like, oh, okay, maybe this isn't real. That and the leg being the wrong one. You don't want to think that of someone that you take care of. You don't think that of a child. But that's what ended up making sense. And that's what you verified for me later on. You were so certain that your glasses wouldn't be there, that they'd be crushed to bits. So then after the ER, we went to look through your glasses, and I found the lenses of them, but there was no frames, not even the crushed to bits parts. Why is that?
Because I've seen someone drive over them.
You've seen someone drive over them. But there was no crushed to bits parts, right? There were no shards, there were no broken pieces. It was a clear road in this area, this small village area. So help me understand that. Okay, so help me understand. What was the outcome you would wish for with all of this?
Attention.
Okay, what kind of attention?
Just people, like any attention I can get.
I cannot hear you.
Any attention I can get.
From who?
From like people that seen the accident.
What's that?
From people who like were there.
What?
From people who were there.
Oh, okay. So just in the moment kind of thing? Were you feeling bored at the time?
No.
Let's walk back, shall we? What were you feeling before you did it? Because I just wanted you to go across the street. We're literally the second building off the corner. You know, earlier we talked about how when you get bored, you try to explode things or break things. And you get frustrated until you do. Is this something like that or no? No, that chaos seeking, where you're like, I'm bored, nothing's going on, I need to stir something up, and then I'll feel that sense of release. Is this like that, or is it something else? And is there a different kind of attention you get when you're hurt or sick? It's not different than your everyday? Having nurses and strangers talk to you and all that is not different than your everyday? Is it really? How so? Okay, and when you peel your scabs at school so that you can go visit with the nurse and get a Band-Aid from her and hang out, and you say that you guys are friends, is that the same kind of everyday attention when you have like the injury going on that you've created? Or no?
Well, when she does, like when I'm at the nurse and it's like we just talk, that's it.
But does that attention feel good, that different kind of attention from an outsider?